Hello students, this is Nirmala from Vivekananda Academy of Human Excellence. Today we are going to see class 6 Geography lesson number 4 Maps. Different types of maps we will see. Millions of unique maps are in use throughout the world. Most of these maps can be placed into one or two groups, reference maps and thematic maps. Reference maps show the location of geographic boundaries, physical features of the earth, or cultural features such as places, cities, and roads. Political maps, physical maps, road maps, topographic maps, time zone maps, geologic maps, and zip code maps are all examples of reference maps. A variety of reference maps have been created for almost every country of the world. The main and important types of maps are physical maps, political maps, and thematic maps. From that, physical maps are designed to show the natural landscape features of the earth. They are best known for showing topography either by colors or as shaded relief. You can see in the map with different colors landforms are shown. Physical maps often have a green to brown to grey color scheme for showing the elevation of the land. Darker greens are used for near sea level elevations, with the color grading into tans and browns as elevations increase. The color gradient often terminated in shades of grey for the highest elevation. Rivers, lakes, seas, and oceans are usually shown in blue, often with a light blue color for the most shallow areas and darkening in a gradient or by intervals for areas of deeper water. Glaciers and ice caps are shown in white colors. Physical maps usually show the most important political boundaries, such as state and country boundaries. Major cities and major roads are often shown. This cultural information is not the focus of a physical map, but it is often included for geographic reference and to increase the utility of the map for many users. The second important type of maps is political map. Political maps are among the most widely used reference maps. They are mounted on the walls of classrooms throughout the world. They show the geographic boundaries between governmental units such as countries, states, and counties. They show roads, cities, and major water features such as oceans, rivers, and lakes. Political maps help people understand the geography of the world. They are usually the first type of map that students are introduced in school. They are also known as reference maps because people refer to them again and again as they have questions. Political maps are often printed on paper or another physical medium, but they can also be produced in digital form suitable for viewing online. Every day, millions of people visit search engines to find political reference maps. Some of the most popular searches are for United States map, world map, Europe map, and Florida map. Thousands of different political reference maps have been prepared to show the current geography of the United States. There are maps of the entire nation, maps for each of the 50 states, maps of the 3,142 counties, parishes in Louisiana, and boroughs in Alaska that make up the states. Next important type of map, thematic maps, show the variation of a topic, the theme across a geographical area. Weather maps showing daily high temperatures across the United States are familiar examples of a thematic map. They are made by starting with a reference map of the United States. Then, temperature data is plotted atop of the reference map using colors to communicate the temperature forecast. Income maps and resource maps are other types of thematic maps. You can find several examples of commonly used reference maps and thematic maps. For example, road, street and highway maps, earthquake maps, rainfall maps, income maps, resource maps, etc. Today, Google Map is the world's most popular online mapping system. In addition to maps, the service also provides travel route directions. It can create directions for people who are driving, taking public transportation, walking, cycling, or taking a plane. In any mode, we can use Google Maps to find out such place which is unknown for us. Weather maps are also useful. We see in news channels, everyday news. If we watch, at last weather are told by the newsreader. That is also important. You can see in these maps, heavy rainfall map is shown here, and forecast for cyclone. Many of the cyclones come every year from the oceans, so that we come to know with these news. In news channels we get that forecast. People use an incredible number of weather maps. They are used to show predicted temperatures, predicted precipitation, storm warnings of various kinds, wind speed and direction, chance of precipitation, type of precipitation, snow accumulation, frost prediction, and many other aspects of weather. Then how can we read the map when we have, what are the components? Three important components are there which are used in map, which is important whether any language is unknown to you. If you know the components of map, you can read any language maps and you can get the place, your destination, with the help of that map, whether you don't know the language which is written on the map. The first important component of map is distance. Scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. Scale is very important on any map. If you know the scale, you will be able to calculate the distance between any two places on the map. When large areas like continents or countries are to be shown on paper, then we use a small scale. It is called a small scale map. When a small area like your village or town is to be shown on paper, then we use a large scale, that is 5 centimeter. It is called a large scale map. So on large scale map we can draw a map of any village, any town. On small scale, your house map, any rooms map also can be drawn. That is called as large scale map. The second most important component of map is direction. There are four major directions: north, south, east and west. They are called cardinal points or cardinal directions. Other four intermediate directions are northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. We can find out the directions of a place with the help of a compass. It is an instrument used to find out main directions. So when we use compass, we get north and south direction with the help of compass because it shows always north direction to us. Its magnetic needle always points towards north-south direction, so easily we can identify remaining directions. Third and important component of map is symbol. Different types of symbols are used in the map, and with the help of those symbols we can read map easily. It is the third important component of map. It is not possible to draw on map the actual shape and size of different features such as buildings, roads, etc. So, they are shown by using certain letters, shades, colors, pictures and lines. These symbols give a lot of information in a limited space. Maps have a universal language that can be understood by all. So maps language is called as universal language because it can be understood by all, whether you don't know any language. Which symbols are used in the map, those are same throughout the world. Which directions are mentioned on the map, those are also same, those also not change in any country. That's why we can understand map whether it is in any language. There is an international agreement regarding the use of these symbols. These are called conventional symbols. So internationally the agreement has been done for this, that same symbols are used like bridge, temple, rivers or land boundaries, country boundaries, state boundaries. So for certain things the symbols are same. Various colors are used for the same purpose. For example, generally blue is used for showing water bodies, brown for mountain, yellow for plateau and green is used for plains. You can see in this picture different symbols are used for railway line, broad gauge railway line, then meter gauge railway line and railway station. Different symbols are there, and these symbols are used in all the types of maps as well as in any language or throughout the world. These same symbols are used for roads, metal roads, unmetal roads, boundaries, international boundaries, state boundaries, district boundaries. Then water bodies like river, well, tank, canal, bridge, temple, church, mosque or chhatri. These symbols are same wherever you go in any language. If any map is there, but these symbols are used. Same are there. Post office, post and telegraph office, police station. For these places there is no any symbol, but short forms of its names are used. For post office, PO, post and telegraph office, PTO, and police station, PS abbreviations are used. Settlement, graveyard, for that another symbols are used. Through that we can understand that which place is there on the map. Trees, for grass, different symbols are used. Next important point is sketch. Sketch is a drawing mainly based on memory and spot observation and not to scale. We have seen maps which are drawn with the scale. means in centimeter, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometers, 100 kilometers. That is the scale, what is actually on the ground, that on the scale map is drawn, but sketch is not to the scale. It is based on the memory. We memorize the places. If you want to tell any address to your friend, you don't measure the distance, but approx by your memory you are giving any address. Sometimes a rough drawing is required for an area to tell where a particular place is located with respect to other places. Such a rough drawing is drawn without scale and is called a sketch map, where you don't use any scale, but approximately or roughly you are giving the address, or you are drawing a picture or sketch of any particular area. So how much distance without scale you can draw, then right turn, left turn, any temple, bridge, river, tree, any building, that which important spots are there you can draw in this sketch. Next important point is plan. A plan is a drawing of a small area on a large scale. A large scale map gives a lot of information, but there are certain things which we may sometimes want to know. For example, the length and breadth of a room, which can't be shown in a map. At that time, we can refer drawings drawn to scale called a plan. As we have seen in map or in sketch also, we can't get the idea of length and breadth of any room, any house or any building. But in plan, all these things are very clear. When you see the plan of any building, your house plan is there, in that each and everything is drawn. We can understand, or we get the idea by this drawing or by this plan, that how much length, breadth or height of any room is there, where is the wash basin, where is the kitchen, where is the window, door or balcony. Everything we get through the plan. In all, we have seen all things about maps in detail. Thank you.